What's good, YouTube? Slenderrevolutionx here, coming to you guys today with my 18th place Philadelphia Regional DDD deck profile. I decided to run DDDs because I personally think I play very well with the deck, and I thought I had a pretty decent matchup with the way I kind of tweaked the build itself to combat the meta. So I decided, let's take a shot at it. I ended up going X2. I just kept winning games, winning matches. It was really impressive, even in my opinion, it being my first invite to nationals that I earned. It's pretty exciting. So if you guys have any questions or comments on what I did, how I faced in the matchups, what my matchups were, some basic combos, things like that, smash the like button and put a comment in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. But before the sake of length of the video, I'm just going to do essentially the deck profile and maybe a brief description on why I picked cards here and there in the deck. So without further ado, guys, let's dive right in. Alrighty, guys, so we'll start off with the main deck. I end up with 3 7 Keplers, pretty standard Stratos of the deck. 3 of each slime. I understand that's not always the case, but I wanted to be able to make as many plays either going first or second, and I think running 3 Necro Slime allowed that. 3 Ragnarok, he's your main engine starter, the main combo starter of the deck. He just brings out big monsters. And his companion there is Thomas. Thomas works a little differently, but, I wanted to focus more on the rank 8 plays of this deck, which are really, really strong. And I didn't want to run any of the rank 4 engine that DDD offers, so I ran 2 Armageddon Knights. Just a good way to start off your turn, and you don't have a whole lot of normal summons in this deck, so I wanted to be able to utilize that as a part of the mechanic of the game, as part of the game. I just wanted to be able to utilize that free summon that you get if you can normal summon a monster. And then next, my MVP, Double Vanity Fiend. This card, basically, if you get it on board, it pretty much just wins you the game. Unless Metal Foes have the Eccentric, unless they have the out to him, you auto win. In my Heroes matchup, I auto won it with that. As soon as, if you can open up with a Vanity's Fiend on board, it's just really strong. I decided to main deck 2 Maxi. Just in my opinion, the best hand trap in the game. It's just really strong. And even, go in, game 1, it still can net you free cards, even if you don't know what deck you're playing. And last for the monsters, I ran 1 Gofu. I was skeptical of running 2. I didn't want to open up double Gofu. I just thought that running 1 would still open up the ability for Clear or Crystal Wing, and Soul can play. It would still open up my ability to tribute it for Vanity's Fiend. But if there's one thing I would change after the tournament, it is to bump this up to 2. It's just a really strong card. On the spells, you got your 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. This searches your DDD monsters. Just pretty basic. That's pretty standard in every DDD deck. You want to max out on that. 2 of the Fusion guys just allows for more plays. I don't run 3 because it can get cloggy, but 2 I think is a good number. Onto your draw power, 2 Trade-In, 2 Allure. I had the option to run the Desires. I just thought that when I tested this deck with Desires, I thought that I found that I banished a lot of my combo pieces. I understand you run a lot of 3-ofs in this deck, but I didn't want to compromise the plays that I could make because I decided to banish 10 cards. So I decided to just go with this as my draw engine, and it obviously worked out pretty well. Double Twin Twister main deck, just a really, really strong card. I expected to see a lot of Metal Foe and a lot of ABC. And this is just a really good card. And obviously, discarding in this deck doesn't hurt you at all because your graveyard's essentially another hand. Another tech that I ran, Double Mass Change 2. Darklaw was punishing people all day. The reason I decided to run this is it makes Kepler a stronger card. You're not leaving a 0/0 out face up on the field. If you have the Mass Change 2 and on their turn can open up and make that Kepler into a Darklaw, it's just really, really strong. And there were several games where I opened up Vanity's Fiend, Darklaw, and it was just it's very hard to come back for that. If they don't have the Regeki, or if they don't have somehow a way to deal with the Darklaw or the Vanities first and then deal with the Darklaw, it's just really strong. On to the 1-ofs, 1 for 1. Just pretty standard. It just turbos out Kepler, and Kepler's a good way to get your turn started. 1 Foolish Burial, same thing as I've been saying. Your graveyard's essentially another hand. This card just fuels your plays. And one of the other tech choices that I decided to run was 1 Barrier from the Different Dimension. Not only does it allow you to extend your plays on future turns, like put the Necros back in the graveyard, put the Slimes back in the graveyard, like just like a lot of extension plays. I've had this card auto win against ABC. When they open up Buster Dragon, then my turn they try to tag out, and I chain this to the tag and put one of their pieces back in the graveyard. That way they don't get all three back. It's just like they neg pretty big when that happens, and like it's just like if it's just like a hand trap at that point, and it just wins me more games. And last but not least, my two traps. I ran Vanity's Emptiness, just really strong in general. Can win you games, just blowouts. And last but not least, Dark Contract with the Witch, just your continuous Regeki Break. It was really easy with this card and Dark Contract with the Gate to outpace your opponent and just like destroy a card every turn. And like, yeah, you're paying 1,000 life points, but it doesn't even matter like when you can outpace them. And that's I found that happen a couple times. But this card just is really strong in general. On to the extra deck. Double Genghis. I would like to bump this up to 3, but I think that this extra deck is very tight as it is. I think every card in this extra deck serves a purpose, and they're all very strong. But this still allows for the Beatrice play, which I'll show later. And it's just it can turn a field of 1 monsters to 5 monsters. Like, it's just a really strong. Double D Arc. I thought double was needed just to allow for the Big Eye play. There was a couple times where I stole monsters with Big Eye. And this card, like, it's kind of a vanilla, but like when you have the option for Big Eye, or you end up with like 10k life points on turn 2. It's really discouraging for your opponent. So I think he's very necessary in there. Obviously, then we have the Dark Law. Like I said, just really strong all day. Really pushed in for some serious work in a bunch of different games. Like, it wasn't just against like the DDD mirror that I went up against, or like anything specific. Like, it's just such a valuable card. The one Caesar was really strong. I don't know if I made him at all day. But you don't want to not have the option for him, just because he can be a blowout card when you're going up against a big field. And Last Fusion is obviously Pilgrim. I've run the Beatrice, and I want people to be punished if they think that I don't run this. Like, I want this to be an option, so I decided to run that. That's it for the fusions. On to the rank 6s. M7, I really like M7. It just allowed me to extend plays on my turn, like bring something back to my hand from the graveyard, or push something back to my opponent's hand so I could push for an OTK, but I just think it's really strong. Beatrice is Beatrice, just fuels your graveyard. And I didn't run the Farfa play. Like, people seem to think that the Farfa play is good. I just don't think it's the strongest, most optimal plays. Like, I just wanted this deck to be as consistent as possible. And I thought that in doing so, leaving the Farfa out was just a better play. My 1 rank 7 is Big Eye, just really strong. Like I said, stealing your opponent's monsters is never a bad thing. The 1 Felgrand won me a couple games. All of my rank 8s like found a way to win me games. Like, they're just all very strong. So you have the 1 Felgrand, the 1 Titanic Galaxy. Obviously, like, any deck that's going to be playing spells is good. Like, this was really good against heroes. Like, I took out what was it? Oh, I took out a lightning with that, which was really strong. They're just very, like, it's very utility with that. And obviously the MVP of the entire day in my extra deck was Kali Yuga. Just turning off your opponent's cards for the entire turn, allowing you to push. Like, you always want to make this card last if you're going for a push. Either they get to negate other cards first, but like, you still don't want to make this and then not be able to make more plays on your turn. But if you make this last, it's just an auto lose. Like, if like it'll just destroy your opponent. And obviously the last two are my Zulkin and my Crystal Wing. They never touch the field once. Not once did I get this card on the field or this card. Like, I was kind of depressed in that, but like, every time the deck decided to give me Gofu in my opening hand, I also had Vanity's Fiend and no other way to make a 6, so I just thought Vanity's Fiend was like a better play. But yeah, if this comes out on the field, obviously, like in any deck that you can put this in, it's strong. So I wouldn't want to take that out. I'd want to keep it in the deck. But that's it for the extra. Let's go into the side. God, I said I wanted to not worry about time, but we're already at 8:30. But anyway, we'll go into this. Chaos Hunter MVP in the side. Like, this card was just really strong. Like, even against decks that it doesn't hurt, like, even as decks that it doesn't, like, auto-win against, like, it's still really strong. Like, obviously, it was strong in the ABC matchup. It was really strong in the DDD mirror that I made. Like, it's just a really good card, and I think it's very underrated. Double Gamma Seal, self-explanatory, gets rid of Ploppa monsters. The third Vanity's Fiend, I just went in a deck where, in games where I knew I was going up against it and needed to special something, I just decided in the third. Dark Hole Raigeki for board wipes. Double Chalice, this came in really strong against things like Darklaw, and totally awesome. Like, either they choose to negate this, or I just go in. Like, it's really, really good. I never got Vanity's Fiend, but that was another thing that I was really worried about, was just being able to challenge the Vanity's Fiend. Next, the virus cards. I never sided in Epidemic, I don't think. I think I sided in Crush, never saw them. But in theory, they're pretty good. And last but not least is Triple Royal Decree, just for the Paleozoic matchup, and any matchup really that I was worried about. Like, I sided in against Heroes, and it was really strong, but that's pretty much the deck, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments or want to know further about how I did at the event, just say something in the comment section below, and always remember to smash that like button, because hitting that like button makes me know that you guys like the content that I'm putting out and want to see more, so that's always crucial. But other than that, guys, always remember to subscribe to join the revolution today. This is Slenderrevolutionx signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.